Here's what I've collected from a cross section of people who have successfully avoided paying bribes. They've been faced with the prospect of having to pay a bribe, and they've actually used certain behavioral techniques to prevent bribing. The most important thing is be confident. Look confident when you go to a government office. If you go to a government office looking a little hunted, looking a little worried, you are fodder for the corrupt. They are waiting and watching for ways and means to intimidate you. Go to an office confidently. Now, how do you express your confidence? Look the officer straight in the eye. Be polite. Don't be rude. But you don't have to call anybody sir or madam. Address them by their names. Ask them for their names. And call them by their names. You see, a lot of government officers are used to a certain style of behavior by citizens. It's the old my bap kind of relationship. People expect that anybody who comes to a government officer is actually somebody who is begging for something. But you are a proud citizen of India. You don't have to beg any government officer for anything. If you are in the right, you've got the right to ask the individual to provide you the service that you want in a very polite fashion and in a system of where there is mutual respect between the two of you. That kind of unsettles a government officer. The second way that you can avoid paying bribes is that you must do your homework. Most of you in your official work, if you're studying, don't you do your homework? Before you go for a class, don't you read your assignment? Before you go for a business deal, don't you read the fine print in your contract? Then why is it that you do not go onto the website, check how a particular process has to be completed in the government? You go to a government office looking lost without doing your homework, and then you are immediately noted by some middlemen who will then come to you and mislead you. So please go to the website of the departments concerned, download the Citizens Charter, take a look at the Right to Services Acts of your state, understand what your rights are, and do a little bit of homework to find out how to fill up an application form, what are the documents that you need to link along with your application form, and go prepared. And I would again suggest one more thing, carry an extra set of copies. If they ask for one photograph, carry 5 photographs with you. If they ask for one copy, carry a few more copies with you, because you never know, you might be asked at the last minute to give extra copies to people. And that brings me to the third point. Do it yourself. Do not depend upon a middleman. The moment that you hire a middleman, please understand that the middleman is not working for your interest. The middleman is actually an outsourced partner of the government officer to collect the bribe on his or her behalf. Now let me give you an example. In the electricity department, if you want to go to your local ESCOM and you want to get a power connection, there is a certain process by which you need to get that power connection. You need to give your residential address, you need to give a few more details, and then the power connection is yours. But then normally what do? We go to our local electrician, and the local electrician tells you that you need to pay 3,000 rupees or 4,000 rupees, and that he will get you your connection, no questions asked. Now that person is gaming you. He's actually looking into your eyes. He knows that you are not a person who's got an eye for detail, that you're worried and scared, and you're not going to do it yourself. And so this person is actually charging you a premium to do something for you, which you can very easily do if you do a little bit of homework and if you actually do things yourself. The fourth point. How is a bribe actually paid? It's cash, right? You either pay cash to a government officer or you pay cash to that officer's agent. Now, very often, and this is something very funny, I find that a lot of government officers, even though they are openly corrupt, they hesitate in asking you for money, right? They also have a problem about looking you in the eye, admitting that they are dishonest, and openly demanding a bribe. Nobody tells you, give me a bribe. They obliquely refer to it. They say it will cost you so much. Now, how can you stop that tendency? Just tell the officer, yes, oh, it cost me 10,000 rupees. I'll pay 10,000 rupees. Give me a receipt. Never give money to a government officer without a receipt. The moment that you ask for a receipt, immediately the communication happens between the officer and you, and the officer knows that you are not a person who can be trifled with. That you know the rules, you know your rights, and you're well aware of the fact that you cannot hand over money to a government officer without getting a receipt. A lot of people come to me, and the biggest mistake that they admit is that they tell me that they gave money to somebody, either an agent or a government officer, and when I ask them where is the receipt, they say we didn't collect a receipt. So you must always very politely demand a receipt from any government officer who asks you for money. Sometimes what happens is a government officer picks up your application, looks at it and says, this can't be done. Ask him why. You have a right to know why. And by the way, if somebody says that something cannot be done, you have a right to demand the reasons in writing. And writing is something that a government officer is scared of. A lot of people try to mislead you verbally. They will tell you verbally, sorry, this cannot be done. But the moment that you tell them that you will not accept their verbal statement, that you want an endorsement in writing from the office that something cannot be done, then they hesitate, because an endorsement is evidence. And here there's a related point. If a government officer tells you that something cannot be done, but if you pay a bribe, it can be done, then believe me, it can be done in the first place. Right? A government officer might actually mislead you into believing that a legitimate process cannot be done and a bribe has to be paid for it. But the moment that he says that it can be done, then it means that you can get it done in any case. So never ever leave a government office, or never allow a government officer to tell you verbally, don't accept it, that you cannot get something done. Here is a related point. Sometimes a government officer might say, forget it, I'm not going to give you the reasons. What can you do then? Use the Right to Information Act. File a Right to Information Act application. And that can put the fear of the God in the government officer. Let me give you an example. Let us say that you've been applying for a ration card, or you've been applying for getting a particular certificate. And the officer looks at your document and says, sorry, it cannot be done. You can turn around to the officer and say, I want to know how many people have actually got this facility from you. In the last 6 months, for how many people have you actually given this certificate? File an RTI application. Find out who are the people who are given these certificates. And the moment that you are persistent about this, the government officer knows that he cannot fool you. And here's the oldest trick in the game. A government officer, as I said, is sometimes quite wary about asking for a bribe openly. So it's always done in a furtive way, or it's done through an agent and so on and so forth. But in that kind of a situation where voices are lowered, you don't have to lower your voice. Just ask him plainly to his face, loud enough for others to hear. Are you asking me for a bribe? Sorry, I won't pay a bribe. I've personally tried this trick and it works like a shot. What happens is that the officer cringes. The officer is a little embarrassed. Of course, it doesn't work in all circumstances. In some departments, people are very open, and then you've got to choose the strategic moment to become a little aggressive. And when you become aggressive, don't abuse anybody or don't use bad language, and don't get angry. Just ask the individual straight away. When he's beating around the bush and trying to convey to you obliquely that you need to pay a bribe, just stand up and say, are you asking me for a bribe? Sorry, sir, I will not pay a bribe. Once I did it in an RTO's office and 10 people looked at me. And immediately the officer in front of me, he sat down and quietly did my work. It's that kind of, breaking patterns of intimidation. It works a lot. You could then file complaints. I know a lot of you are skeptical about this. You say, what's the point? I mean, if the entire department is corrupt, if I complain against an official here, then it really is not going to help me. But believe me, it does create some fear. It may not work in all circumstances, but sometimes you just have to say to the officer concerned, may I know your name and may I know your senior officer, and please tell me what exactly you are denying me, and I will write a letter to the senior officer complaining. And please remember that the Right to Services Acts in 15 states actually gives you the power to complain. You have a right to complain to a senior officer. You have a right to get redressal of your grievance before a senior officer. So please ensure that you actually use that right, and you use it to tell the government officer who is demanding a bribe from you that he or she cannot get away with it. Record evidence. That's again very important. This is a bit of a tricky business, but some people have done it, and they have done it with astounding success, which is that they just switch on their mobile phones, keep it there, and they are recording the evidence. And as you know, this is something for really not for the faint-hearted, but if you are really passionate about it, ensure that you record somebody's conversations, and then you can use it. You can go to the press, you can go to the Lokayukta, you can go to the Lokpal, and then you can get action taken. The last point, very, very successful in some cases, is Gandhigiri. Just break out of the normal. We had a situation here in Bangalore where about 400 people in a particular area were not being given their property documents by the city corporation. They just went on a strike. They sat in front of the city corporation office. And ultimately, the documents were given at 2 o'clock at night on a particular day, because it was getting embarrassing for the city corporation to have all these people sitting. And there, if you are planning to do Gandhigiri, go in a crowd. It's useful to go as a group, seek strength from each other. Fighting corruption should be like football. It should be a team sport. It shouldn't be like golf that you play it alone.